I think that because of the end of third season of Mandalore, I think people are starting now to wonder what are the next project the Star Wars are gonna bring, because after the kind of fiasco that came out with Star Wars 9, people wonder like what kind of movies are coming out, or maybe you're wondering like, oh, which shows are coming out, and this year is coming out some of them, next year what's gonna be of Star Wars. So I'm here to talk about all of that and what came out in Star Wars Celebration, for example. All of that and more. So just please don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's go with this video. So okay, we got several series, several shows, several movies also that will come out for Star Wars in the next years. Some, of course, don't have the specific date to it, but they are already confirmed productions. Of course, some of them were discontinued. I'm not gonna talk about these ones. I'm gonna talk about the ones that we have confirmation that's gonna happen. So let's start off with the animated series Star Wars Visions that will get a second volume on May 4. It's gonna be a specific date to it. And if you've never seen the first season, I recommend you because it's really cool. It's like short episodes. They have separate stories inside it, and I think they'll keep the same pattern. It's just like Love, Death, and Robots with Star Wars with different episodes, and I think it's just magnificent. They might get even an episode out of it and make it a show because there are some ones that are pretty interesting. The announcement of the continuation of the series came during Star Wars Celebration, and Volume 1 was specifically anime focused, but the second batch of episodes will be more global, featuring filmmakers from, for example, Japan, Chile, South Africa, France, and many other countries, and the 9 shorts that will be available. I am pretty hyped to this one. I think it's nice for you to spend a little bit of time experiencing all this artists have to offer to Star Wars. I think it's amazing. Just like Love, Death, and Robots, it's amazing. We have also Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures animated series that will come out also May the 4th this year. This animated series is geared toward the youngsters. Set during the High Republic era, Young Jedi Adventures will follow younglings as they learn the ways of the Force and, according to Lucasfilm, become a Jedi. Compassion, self-discipline, teamwork, patience, and friendship. And it's gonna come out in spring of 2023. I saw a couple of images of the show. It's gonna be like, of course, kids focused, but I don't think it's gonna be limited for people who are only kids. I think Star Wars fans can enjoy some of it and show their kids at least. I think it's gonna be cool. Ahsoka, which is for me the best production, is coming out this year. This Mandalorian spin-off series will focus on Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano. The series will be set in the same era as The Mandalorian itself, so rather than the fill in the missing gaps in the Ahsoka story, it's likely revolve around her hunt for Thrawn as Tease on The Mandalorian. Hayden will also appear as Anakin Skywalker following his appearance in Obi-Wan Kenobi, though whether he will appear as a Force ghost or via flashback scenes is not clear. Filoni is running the show, and it's coming out pretty soon on Disney Plus. And the trailer already came out. I'm really pumped to see. I already seen some flashes of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Just see the silhouette of him, and of course a lot of Rebel references, with almost all of them appearing at once in the trailer. We already saw Zeb in Mandalorian. We saw all of the other characters in this episode, so in this trailer. So I'm pretty pumped for this one. We got Star Wars Skeleton Crew that is possibly coming out 2024. Previously operating under the working title of Grammar Rodeo, this was the name of the project. Star Wars Skeleton Crew comes from Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts, and the show is gonna take place the post Return of the Jedi reconstruction that follows the fall of the Empire, the same as The Mandalorian. A casting notice has called for 4 children around 11 to 12 years old, so we are already knowing that, for example, that this show is gonna be related to kids mostly. For what was shown in Star Wars Celebration, which was Jude Law will start this show, and it's gonna be about these kids that are lost throughout the galaxy after the fall of the Empire and they seek refuge. This is the best thing that we know about the show, but I'm pretty pumped basically because Jude Law in it, and I think John Watt's gonna be doing a great job, mainly what he done in Spider-Man. And we got also Star Wars Andor TV series season 2 coming in August next year. I'm not that pumped to this one actually because I think Andor, though it's really good, I don't know if they can make another story, because even though I care about the characters, even though we know their destiny, and I don't know if it's gonna be as hyped as the first season. The first season was really good. I don't know if a lot of people watched it actually, but I think it was good. The production will finish like in August or something, and of course, season 2 is gonna be launching in August 2024. We're gonna have The Acolyte. This is one that I'm pretty hyped for because it's gonna talk about the Sith mainly, and they are overseeing a new live action series on Disney Plus, of course, and it's set during the High Republic, 200 years before the events of the prequels. Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy teases the series will take us into a galaxy of shadows, secrets, and emergent dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. It is going to be a story told throughout the Sith's eyes, way before Star Wars 1, for example. And in this year's Star Wars celebration, we learned the series is on track for a 2024 release. I'm very hopeful for this. I think they're gonna set up pace for example, Palpatine in his early days training with Darth Plagueis, the wise. I think it's the great meme for it, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I don't think it's gonna be bad at all. I think it's gonna be amazing. Another underground series, I don't know if most people know, there's a development on the Lando TV series. While Lucasfilm seems to have no plans for the sequel of 2018 Solo, A Star Wars Story, Lando is set to get his own live-action series. Little is known about the project other than that it's being developed by DIY peoples. Justin Simon. Presumably, this series will see Donald Glover reprise his role as Lando. I think it was the best thing that they could bring out of the Han Solo movie was his performance, because I think it was so unique and he was so faithful to the character. And I think him coming out to make a younger version of him in a standalone series, I think it is going to be rich for the character. And now talking about movies that are coming out, mainly these movies were launched and speculated, and now they were confirmed in 2023, which was, for example, this one was a little bit old, which was Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie that is in development. Disney already confirmed that him, the director of Thor Ragnarok, has been tapped to direct a live-action Star Wars movie. He's also co-writing the film alongside 1917's Christy Wilson Krantz. Nothing else is known about the film yet, including when it's set in the Star Wars timeline or what release date will end up claiming. In 2021, Waititi revealed he cracked the story for this movie, but the actual script is still in early stages. In May last year, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy said that this would be the next Star Wars film released. Finally, in March, Variety reported that this could be the project that snaps up the currently empty December 2025 release date on Lucasfilm's slate. I am pumped to see that. I hope Taika keeps up the pace with that. He already directed a lot of episodes for Mandalorian, for example. He was IG-11 voice, so I think he can be a great addition to Star Wars and movie. As I said, you need to be Bryce Dallas Howard to make a movie also, because she was fantastic. We're gonna have 3 movies that were announced in Star Wars Celebration 2023. We got a movie from James Mangold called Ange. It will be like an ancient Jedi movie that is in development. And we learned that he is gonna direct a movie about the very first Jedi Knights. If you're not familiar, James Mangold did Logan, which is a very high point for that. Little is known about this movie other than that it's set throughout like 25,000 years before the other films, and will be like a biblical scope of like discovering the Force and then forging everything that Jedi's know now. It's not gonna be like a thing of like caves or something. I think there's gonna be technology involved, as I was reading in the internet. But I think it's gonna be a fantastic project, and James Mangold, I cannot imagine this thing going bad, honestly. Dave Filoni is gonna make also another movie, which is Mandalorian. First, we will make the jump from Star Wars shows to the big screen. Filoni is directing a movie set after the events of Return of the Jedi. The film is going to tie the shows of Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ashoka. Like, I cannot imagine what's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be awesome, mainly because it was in touch with all of those 3 productions. So I think it's gonna come something at least relatable to something like this. And of course, Filoni is just the best thing that could have happened to Star Wars recently, because of his ability to make great stories. He already did Clone Wars, so him joining forces now to make a great movie, I think it's gonna be amazing. Last but not least, it's gonna be a Jedi Order movie starring Rey Skywalker. Mrs. Marvel director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is directing the first Star Wars film set after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. Daisy Ridley will return to reprise the role of Rey, with the film focusing on their efforts to rebuild the Jedi Order 15 years after the final battle with the Emperor Palpatine, and it is expected that other actors from the sequel trilogy will also return. I don't know what to expect from this. I think she gets too much hate for no reason, because she's just a good actress, but I think a lot of production problems happen throughout the productions of those movies, and I think they're trying to correct that. and she got the worst of it, unfortunately. But I think they're gonna do something right about that because of all the bad things they did. I think they're trying to make up for it. And yes, I think it's gonna be a fantastic project, and I hope that it works actually. And I want to know from you guys what thing that you're most expecting to. To be honest, the show that I'm most pumped to see is gonna be Acolyte because it's gonna talk about the Sith and the Jedi's and the past between the Sith and I'm already, and I love them, and I think it's gonna be awesome. And from the three movies that I said about the James Mangold one, Filoni's, and the Jedi Order movie, to be honest, I am pretty confident that all of them are gonna be okay. But I think the Asian one is gonna be really nice to see. You know, the past from the Jedi's, who was the first Jedi or something like this. I hope that they do something great with that. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will definitely see you guys on the next video, on the next review. So goodbye and peace.